Hello everyone and welcome back to Krastorio 2. This is Otaku Showboat. If you have been enjoying the series thus far, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff below the video. You can follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/otakushowboat, as well as support me on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat if you are so inclined and able. Now, between last episode and this episode, I have picked up the amiibo that Dolly knocked over. That's step one. Yes. She's meowing at me. Hi. Are you gonna jump? You gonna jump? Do it. There's Dolly. She's saying hello. Meow. She's going to today climb on top of the green screen. Hi. Meow. Get unhook. Dolly, the little troublemaker. Yes. Yeah, I know you wanna climb, you wanna play, but it's time to record a video, Miss Dolly. Yes, I know. I know you're grabbing my arm and biting, and yes, you just need to see the can of compressed air. And she runs. Okay, so last time we met, I set up this beautiful thing. She's just being annoying. I'm gonna leave all that in though on this video. That I think people somewhat enjoy. If you don't enjoy it, get out, leave. You are not welcome here. So yeah, we did all this. Great big gigantic enormous thingy. Now, the whole point though is to have multiple trains loading up. Meow. I heard that. Meow. To set a train to have the exact same schedule as another train, you shift right click and then shift left click on the new train. I do need to give some fuel for this, so let's do that. This has should operate just fine. It's set. It's not full yet. That's one problem I have with vanilla Factorio is yeah, it has some trouble. Oh, I need to do a thing to allow for U-turns, ideally. Is there enough of a gap, actually, between these to allow for a U-turn? No, not in the slightest. That sucks. Meh, whatever. Oh, great. Hi, Dolly. Yes. She's now on top of a different bookcase in my office and knocking down the amiibo on top of the different bookcase in my office. Dolly! There goes three. Three more on the floor. Dolly. And of course she's too far away for this to be of any effect. Without me actually getting up and disciplining. Enough of that. So today I need to do some stuff. Yes, I need to actually do things today. More things have knocked down. I'm going to get into a separate train and we're going to go on our merry way. So I do believe that I destroyed some train tracks last time, so I need to repair that. Of course. So I'm going to go over to my mall and pick up additional resources. Additional resources are required so that I can add to my power, because I need more power as a very, very required thing. That's a step one right there, is more power. I also need more stone water wells. Where are my stone water wells? Stone water wells, wherefore art thou? Stone water wells. Wait, where are they? Hello? There they are. Do. A few of those. Just some boilers. A few boilers would be great. It is that time to add to my power by a lot. Definitely power time. It is time for power time. We are ready for power. So, I intended this unit of coal to be loaded onto the train and supplied all the things, but bleh. Just bleh. What I'm thinking, well, I do have at least one thing I could add another 60 per second, so I'll do the unit here first, but I'm gonna just pick a coal patch. I have 5 here, plus this, and it's going to be like my power zone patch, so yeah, that's likely going to be what I end up doing. I've got a few of the thingies there. I just need a bunch more of these. Thank you for those. And I need to grab a regular pipe, but that's about it. Small power poles, I'll upgrade to medium. That should be fine, and this will give me ideally twice the amount of power. I need a bit more. Just a bit more. Now, unfortunately, because I have that, like, 10% of, being, of demand more than what I have right now, what that's doing is slowing everything down a bit. And because my inserters are, you know, standard inserters, if the power gets down to a certain amount that these can no longer adequately supply fuel into these boilers, that completely kills the power generation. It dies fully. So let's try to avoid said situation where power just dies. I'm going to stick that there. We're going to have these. I don't need that many units of the pipes. Let's speak of pipes. Just a few pipes. And I'm going to place these pipes to make it easier to place down the boilers. And of course I'm going to have a red belt, which is actually pretty nice because that allows me to further extend this particular setup. And I'll be using blue inserters rather than yellows, because that's what I have. Whoops. All the whoops. Ugh, God, I wish that I could just not have to run an upgrade planner over this to get it to properly function with the mechanic. Meow. Yeah, I heard that meow. What's that meow? Dolly. Ooh. That actually saves on power poles, right? If I had that there and there. I can't really do it here because of the thingies, but yeah, isn't that, like, just better overall if it was placed like so? Just get rid of all those small power poles. I don't need that layout. Not anymore do I need that layout. I don't need any power poles internally either if I do it this way. That sounds like a wonderful idea. I will do exactly this. Oh wow, that gets all of them. It doesn't get that last inserter though, so I will at least keep that. So that's a gap of 2, so there, there, and there. That is that, as they say. Up goes the red belt. I would need to do more mining, of course, if I wanted to actually feed the entirety of this red belt into these. Yeah, no power, no power! Need to actually hook it up to the grid. Oh joy, oh bliss. Hello, Dolly. Coming from the window. Yes, Miss Meow. Yes, you're being naughty today. You are very, very naughty girl today. Yeah, she's plopped right next to me on the desk. Hello. Hello, my dolly. More power is required. It's just great not having nanobots. I want to make that perfectly clear. Hey. Hey. What are you doing? Well, yes, you roll. She rolled on my arm. Hey. Get back. I don't need hot kitten on my arm. Thanks. Hot kitten in a hot room. Hot kitty. Alright, nearly finished here. Let's get all of that sorted. And, buh. I guess. And hook that right up to the main power grid. Now we have the power. Now we've got some power to last for a brief moment in time. Our 735 electric mining drills that are going right now. Okay. Now that we have power, we can move on to greater things. Bigger and greater things. As in, copper! Glorious, beautiful copper. Let us go and into coal, of course, and stone. All the wonderful things. Let's grab additional mining drills because I don't have enough. Clearly, I don't have enough. I'm also gonna like clear out some of this inventory of the extra steam engines that I don't necessarily need right now. You can take all of that stuff for me. I'll grab, of course, a few of those stacks, and then all of the things that have just finished being made, all 500 of those. That is glorious. Glorious and magnificent. I did leave my train behind, but I'm fine with that. I can, rather than walk all the way down here to get to my train, I think I'll just walk the rest of the way to get over to there. Oh, right, I need to go back anyway because I need to fix the rails. Or I can just handcraft a few rails and be done with it. Why did I end up with you in my inventory? So these are a mirror build of each other. ish. Trying to think of if those are correct on the signals. I don't think so, actually. But anyway, let's go repair this train track real quick. Also, I'm not really carrying around adequate fuel, but we're about to make adequate amounts of fuel down here. So I don't, just a reminder, I don't have a car because cars cannot accept anything other than a separate dedicated fuel source that's going to require solid fuel that requires me to do some oil processing. I am not at the point of doing the oil processing yet. I'm going to be doing the mining on these resources and doing the smelting of these resources over these next few videos. And then we'll be going into the actual oil processing and progressing into chemical science and so on and so forth. Now, I mentioned last time that Train Supply Manager has a system of automatic fuel stops. This is, generally speaking, that system. I'm going to have to do some stuff with a requester train stop here. And that's what we will cover today, is how to request a train stop. I left thingies here in a chest. Good to know. Thank you for all of the wonderful resources. We're starting with coal today, and I am going to go down and copy a line of that. I did not pay attention to how many that was. It's just going to be one line for now, and off-screen I will scale. That is what I've ultimately decided, is that scaling of this stuff will be done off-screen, and we're just going to show what this is like on-screen for the initial amounts of stuffs. I do want to get rid of all of these trees that may technically not be in the way, but are absolutely in my way. This was 40. 22. Blah. If I oriented the other way, I could actually maybe get one that's actually going to give me the full 30 per second, which would be at least 55, but in all actuality, more like 60, to be safe. Remember, multiples are 30 for every multiple of 15. Out. Half a second mining speed. Gosh, I wish it just placed the pair down when I put on a ghost entity placement on these undergrounds. Like, wouldn't that be great? If it knew that that was paired, and then all I had to do was just place the one, and it actually placed both. That would be lovely as a quality of life type of a thing, but it's not going to happen. I'm also going to bring this up and over to provide power into those, and then I will take this blueprint right here and grab these here and paste like so. This is not max length, by the way, on these power poles. It's just convenience to have it like this for me. It's not max length, but it works. So from here, we will load the train. And I'm just, again, remembering that So, hey, it's not, the fuel value on coal is not 4 megajoules. The fuel value on coal is 6 megajoules. So there's that to consider too. With the actual power setup, it's like, oh yeah, I've totally got, you know, the red belt here. Well, a red belt is 6 megajoules per unit times 30. 6 times 30, that's up to 180. I can feed 3 of these off of a single red belt's throughput of coal. Right? This I can feed 3 of this off of 1 red belt's worth of coal. Which is glorious, by the way. Absolutely wonderful that that is possible. So, clearly, let's get train. We'll get 1 train of this. And, of course, it's going to get its coal. And these train stops need to be renamed as D coal 1. D standing for depot. D stands for depot, and then the stop here is going to be S coal 1. I suppose I'll start giving it names of people below the chromium tier, so the copper tier stuff at this point through my Patreon patrons. So this will start with the person there, Johnny at copper. And then 4 other names at copper to go through for all of that. So everyone will end up getting a name who is copper tier or above on the various train stations that I have about the place. I guess since this one's going to be stone, that can go to the next person on the list. This one will be ice. That's the one. That is the one. 3 left. Currently, 3 left. Ideally, we'll have a lot more names on the name list as we go along. Just as long as you are a member of the Patreon at the $5 tier or higher, which is copper, that will get your name on the name list. Ideally, and it is basically in order. The higher the tier, the quote unquote better the stuff. Like what's better on Factorio and what's like worse in Factorio. Like there's no real way to do that. I do know that I do have something special that I tend to do with the trains, and that is I tend to rename the trains after the copper tier patron. The chromium tier patrons. So that is going to be the extra special thing for the chromium tiers, is they will get the actual trains named after them. Not like it really matters, because like how often are we going to actually look at the trains? So yeah, I think the stations are actually a little bit better for being able to see the names on the map, but hey, there you go. You've got stations and names of trains for the chromium tier at this point. Okay, so supply coal 1 to depot coal 1, full cargo and circuit condition. This will take a good while to fill up a train station. These wagons at just 22 per second, or 20 per second, really, effectively. It's not really gonna get that full output of that productivity, because anytime it procs, there's a few frames where needs to offload stuff, and that can cause some issues over time. So then the math is the same as the iron for this. It would be 32,000 divided by 22 divided by 60, or 24 minutes of stuff. Yeah, so let's cut that by a lot. And there we go. Then we cannot forget to assign the D-coal one here, and that's now good to go. I will do the same thing with the copper. However, before we go down and do that with our next train, I'm going to actually go all the way down. That's this area for now taken care of, with the coal, by the way. I'm going to go down here to this little offshoot that I have named FuelStop1. FuelStop1 is a special station as defined by Train Supply Manager. This is going to be the station right here that trains are going to go to refuel. I need to supply the fuel for this train station, and we will do this through a requester train stop. Now, a requester station I have a blueprint for. However, you can see it's not quite ready, and I didn't actually remember to bring my lamps with me. So as it turns out, I need to go all the way back to my main bus to pick up those lamps. So I'm going to actually place down another train here and get going with this guy. Just like so. In the meantime, death to trees. Death to all the trees. With my grenades. With my nads. With my grenades. Let's try not running into the other train that's on this trackway. At least not too quickly. Brake. 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 Stop. Pick that bad boy up. Pick that bad boy up. I'll reverse the line that it's on as I head back out. And this is the main thing I wanted to cover today, is this concept. This concept of the requester stations. So let's pick up stuff from in here. Sure. We'll have that. Off we go. I need train requesters. I have decider combinators on me. I'm pretty sure it's decider combinators that I use for this. Yeah, that should be deciders. So the way this works on the requester stations, you tell the requester station what you want to request, and by default, that's fine. That works. However, it will constantly request trains from the requested depot if you don't have any limits placed on it. So by default, you can define where the train will come from, what the ID is, what depot you want to request from, but it's just going to do that forever. So the trains will constantly keep moving over and over and over again. It won't stop at all from requesting them, even if they're... Actually, I'm going to completely pick up the locomotive at this point. Put it right back in my pocket. Even if the stuff's full at this station, it won't stop. So what we'll do here is add in decider combinators that are going to read the contents. Doesn't really care what the contents are. It's just going to like take the number of the amount of stuff that's in these two, and be like, okay, if I'm below a certain threshold value, send trains to me. Send a specific number of trains to me. And then once it's sent those trains and the amount that's been uh, set to it, like once there's greater than a certain amount of stuff in these, it will shut down the requester station and stop requesting more trains. And that is the behavior that we're going to be going for overall. Now, because I can't really use this because of course, stuff in the way, I'm actually going to do this separately by hand. It will be by hand, and it will be done like this. So step 1 is to assign to get a wire from the train requester to the train counter. And then I need, excuse me, but those are not deciders. Those are arithmetics. Okay. Well, I guess back I go. I need to grab, or can I can just craft some arithmetics. There we go. I actually have the stuff in my inventory. I can just craft them. So these combinators, I'm actually going to move them to be down. Sure, let's have it like that. I need to have that into there. I need to have that, no, not that one, that into there. And then it's these two connect into that. So, what's going to happen here is that this is going to take the input on the right side. It's going to be set to this thing called each. So that's just going to be the number of all of the contents of this, no matter what it is. And it's going to be divided by some value, some value. I'm laughing. Really? Really? Well, thank you, Krastorio, for adding a WTF. Kill, don't touch, build here. Yeah, sure. Sure, that's great. Arbitrary stuff. We're going to divide by a constant of 4,000 units. And we're going to output that value as some other signal. In this case, I have chosen the signal of X. We can be whatever signal we want overall. So that's going to output the number divided by 4,000 as the whole number X. The circuit system does not work with floating point numbers, so no fractional values are actually passed through. It will round to the nearest whole number for X. We then will input our value of X and then compare. We're actually comparing. Let's see. We're actually taking a constant value and subtracting from X here. That's what we're doing. We are taking a constant, in this case a constant of 2, and then subtracting the value of X, and that is going to output a different constant in the form of P. Some other value. This can be anything. It's just signal P. And then the actual train requester will be enabled if the trains on the way are less than P. So if the number of trains that are on the way in Train Supply Manager through this very specific symbol, if it's less than P, less than the value of P, I could set this less than or equal to P, but we're gonna have it just be less than P for now. And then because I have set 2 minus X, if P is not being subtracted by anything, aka there's nothing in here, right? That means that there's nothing in here. If X is 0, there's nothing here. what we end up with is we are going to request trains until the trains are greater than P. If I set this to less than or equal to P, well, it'll end up requesting trains until trains are equal to P. So in this case, because I've set it to 2 minus X, it will send 2 trains. If it's less than P, it will try to send 3 trains. So you get the idea here. And in this case, I will set it less than or equal to, and it'll be 2 trains. So now all of that is set, and it's actually ready for me to define the priority. Well, now what do I want to bring? I want to bring stuff from the coal depot. And like magic, that coal train is going to come here to this train stop, which is called Krastorio NA. It's going to be renamed to R Coal at FuelStop1. Separate fuel stop. And then the train's just going to unload all of its stuff through the bulk rail unloaders as quickly as the bulk rail unloaders can unload from these wagons. And then the train is just going to go right on back to there. That is until the train needs to refuel, and then any refueling trains will go up to this FuelStop1. What will define a train that needs to be refueled? Well, that is in your settings. That is in the mod settings under, I think it is under map or per player. It is right here. Minimum refueling amount. So right now it's actually set to a really low value of 20 megajoules. This will say that when the train's current megajoule value of fuel is below 20, it will go to refuel. I would prefer if this was more like 100 megajoules, it'll go refuel. So we have to think about this in terms of the train has the ability to keep 3 stacks of a solid fuel in it. If it's, in this case, it is coal, that's 6 megajoules times 400 in a stack times 3. That's 7,200 megajoules, or 7.2 gigajoules of available energy for the train to use when it's full with coal. And yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So if we're saying that we want it to refuel when there's 100 megajoules left, it's like practically running on empty, right? Even at 100 megajoules, that's like if you divide 100 by 6, that's like 17 units of coal left inside of the machine, right? Left inside of the train. Are we okay with it being that tight of a amount? Maybe, maybe not. So actually, I think I'm going to set this to more like 400 megajoules. So when a train has less than 400 megajoules of fuel available to it, that's when it will refuel. How did I set a thing? So you can see here, I've placed this. The inserters will insert into the train when there is a train that is there. And it'll be good. It will be glorious. These will fill the train. And yeah, see, there are no trains with this stop right now. At this moment in time. Once so you are going to keep on keeping on with this fueling. It waits, it gets filled, and then it comes in, and see how it has 378 units of coal in it right now. That's 378 times 6 megajoules. That's 2,268 megajoules, or 2.2 gigajoules. available to it of power, it's not going to have to refuel for a good while. So with that, covering the basic requester station logic, and that is that is a thing. By the way, these culminators, you only need to do this once. You only need to do this one time, and you can just copy and paste this logic over and over and over again. That's the beauty of each, is that it doesn't care what the stuff is in here. That's why I have this blueprint that stores the logic for me. And this little bit of rail, this train counter gets automatically placed when you place down a requester station. And that's all I really need. So all I need to do when I go in here, when I place this down, is just set the depot that I want it to request from. And I know that it's going to request, in this case, up to 3, because it's less than, not less than, equal to trains to that station at any given point in time. So with that, folks, after going through and placing down some initial coal mining today, adding additional power to the setup, and going through and actually setting up our fuel stop today so that the trains can refuel, and we now have officially fully automated the trains, and we have a train actually moving between the coal and the fuel stop until there's enough stuff in this fuel stop that I don't need to request anymore. I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. If you have enjoyed the video in the series thus far, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff down below. You can, of course, follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/otakushowboat, as well as support me on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat if you are so inclined and able. I, of course, will see you all on the next one, where we are going to move on, I think, to doing some resource smelting. I will off-screen be scaling and tapping into that copper patch as well, scaling up this coal patch to get way more coal per second, as well as into tapping into that entire coal patch right beneath us, right beneath the coal, so this one there. And then we will move on and get into oil once I set up smelting. Some basic smelting. I'll set up one smelting line that'll be using that I'll be using for iron, smelting iron into iron plates, and then off-screen scaling that up to copper as well, and just getting more iron, more copper, etc. And yeah, then we will move on into oil from there. I hope to see you all going forward on the next ones.